All right, special episode number 35, TJ Martino podcast. We're here. Welcome. And I have an awesome episode today with somebody that I have just the most love and respect for, and that is my amazing, lovely cousin, Carly Williford, in the house.
Hello.
Well, technically I'm in her house, but...
Yes, my parents.
But how have you been, Carly?
I've been good. It's been definitely a crazy start to the new year, which is good because considering everything last year. But yeah, good. Just busy working my two jobs.
Two jobs. And yes, we will get into that. But first I want to talk about the last time I saw you, which was in Florida. We went to Walt Disney World.
Yes.
And what were your overall thoughts? Was that the first time you'd been to Disney? I thought that was what you said.
So that was the first, I guess. I mean, I was there, I think maybe when I was 6 or 7. So it's really hard for me to remember what we did when we were there. Of course, you remember like Magic Kingdom and stuff. That's the main things people remember. But yeah, that was the first time that I have really been to the park and like remembered it. I got to experience all that. So yeah, wow. I'm glad we did 2 of those parks, but we definitely need to go back and do. Yeah,
because we went to Universal as well. The original. So we went to Disney, Hollywood Studios, and we went to Universal, just Universal, right?
Yes.
And what out of those 2 would you say was better?
I kind of liked Universal a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge Disney fan, but I think the vibe of Universal was really cool too, like the streets. And I don't know, I think people build up Disney a lot too, which don't get me wrong, it was amazing. But I also think Universal was, I don't know, it was great. Just the whole overall vibe of it.
Yeah, the Mardi Gras.
We were there for Mardi Gras.
Yeah, we went on Mardi Gras, and apparently that's like a huge thing there.
We had no idea.
And we had no idea. We walk in, we go to Disney on President's Day, which is like basically the government holiday.
Yep.
The schools are off, all that stuff. So you get all the little kids running around, all that on President's Day at Disney. And then we stumble into Mardi Gras at Universal, where they have this huge festival going on with the parades and
which I think that was part of why it was really cool for me too. Like all the decorations and everything.
And they had all the different food and the alcohol and the whole thing. Yeah, they definitely had a setup going.
Yeah, it was a cool vibe. I'm glad that we did that. We need to do more big family trips like that with our extended family.
Yeah, and I just like trips with like things to do.
Oh, me too.
You know, that's why I like going to theme parks. Like, it's just a new scene, something to do instead of just going to Florida. Like we could have just gone to Florida and just sat on the beach.
Yeah, which I like the beach, but I think for a couple days it's good, and then for a week it's kind of like you need some activities to be planned. And I'm all about the excursions. So remember when we went to Aruba and we did one of their.
Did you plan all those excursions?
Some of them, and then Trent, of course.
Trent
planned those too. My oldest brother Trent. But yeah, I mean, I'm super into the activities as well. So I'm glad that we had a lot planned, and we packed a lot in 2 days, which was really good. That's what I like to do most. So that was fun. Yeah, we need to get another one on the books.
Yeah, you're a big traveler though. You love to. Where have you because you're always posting stuff. I'm always seeing you posting stuff traveling. So like break down over the last like obviously like we'll say 2019. What was your travel schedule in 2019 before because the virus doesn't really count?
Yeah. So we went to San Francisco and San Diego in 2019. And then it was Matt's first time leaving the country, and we went to Iceland, which was out of this world cool. That was one of my favorite trips ever. Just the scenery and the glaciers and it looked like a green screen. Yeah. Like it didn't look real. And we spent hours upon hours in the car, like 14 hours a day traveling. And that was really neat just to see all the countryside. And there were literally horses on the side of the road, and you could just get off and go up and pet them. It was the craziest thing. And then we went to Thailand, which that I think was probably my favorite country that I've been to.
Really?
Thailand was pretty cool. For me, it was the animals. I mean, I'm all about, the tigers and elephants. So, we did an excursion with the elephants. That was a whole day thing.
Did you ride elephants?
We didn't. They say that it's harmful to them, that it can hurt their back. So we did a lot of research, and we went to a sanctuary.
Maybe those kind of elephants. Cool. Yeah, because they're a lot smaller. The Asian elephants are a lot smaller than the African elephants usually.
I didn't know that.
Because like you've seen like the big African elephants like in the prairie, and they're like they got the big those ones.
I guess they are, but yeah. So, I mean, we got to bathe them though. We walked with them. I mean, they're as cute as can be.
Yeah.
They're as cute as can be. And they're so gentle for how big they are. They are gentle.
Yeah, they're very majestic creatures.
So
they
very
really
majestic. I think Matt resonated with them. My fiance Matt is a gentle giant. So I feel like he resonated with them the most. He loved that. The tiger excursion for me, I love adrenaline.
Because you love big cats, don't you?
Oh my gosh, I love
You have like
them.
a big, you used to always, I remember you always on your laptop, you'd always have the big cats in the background.
I did, yeah. When we walked into the cage, I remember the zookeeper screaming because there were 2 tigers in this cage, and they were both 650 pounds each, and they were playing at the time, right? So we walked in, and they had so much energy. They were running all over the place, and the zookeepers, like they were screaming. And so Matt and I were like, should we be scared?
Yeah.
Like, are we okay? And that was probably the coolest experience of my life. I mean, that was amazing.
So how long did you have with them?
In
tigers.
Thailand? Oh, with the tiger. Couple hours.
Couple hours?
Couple hours. You got to go in you got to pick. There was different packages, but we did the giant tigers, which were the 650-pound ones, and then we did the baby ones, the medium-sized ones, then we did the white tigers too.
Oh, wow.
So
the
that
white
was
tigers.
really cool.
Those ones are always, so where are the white tigers from? Are they from like that area? Or
I don't really know, but
I think they're from China.
So, and I think, so because they're blue and they have blue eyes, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they're blind. I think they're blind and they can't do well in the wild for some reason. And so, I guess that's part of the reason why
they're not blind? Matt just walked in.
Matt just walked in here. The cross-eyed.
He said they're cross-eyed.
Cross-eyed.
Okay.
Thank you. They can't survive in the wild. Okay. Because they can't hunt. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew there was something. So, those, I mean, they're huge as well. I mean, they're just, wow. They're really cool creatures.
What does their fur feel like?
Honestly, I mean, it's kind of similar to domestic cats, really. Like some are softer, some are a little bit more coarse, but I mean, even just like it's unexplainable, like touching a tiger, like petting them. And I remember them saying like, don't touch their face. And I'm like, I want to touch their face. Like, I just want to get up close to them. But yeah, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Yeah. So they basically just walk you into like they have like a big sanctuary, I guess. Like, is it like a,
yeah,
like a cage basically?
They have cages. Yep. They're separated basically by size. And then the smaller ones typically have more in the cage with them.
Yeah.
They have little pools in there too, so that they can play around. I wish they had more space than they do, but you know, it's kind of looks like a zoo setup.
Yeah.
The one we went to though is a sanctuary. So, you know, we did a lot of research again because there's some stuff, you know, abroad that's a little sketchy. So you got to do your research for sure. But the one we went to, I highly recommend it. They take care of their animals really well.
Yeah.
And that was what was most important to me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because like, you saw that? Did you see the Tiger King?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Very interesting.
Coming from an animal
lover. I mean, I thought it was entertaining, but it also kind of made me sad too. I love animals, really any animal. And I think it's just kind of crazy how people can have them in captivity. And some of them were nicer than others to the animals, and that's great. But I don't know. I think they were exploited a little bit too much. And
totally. And I think that was kind of the point of the documentary was like more than anything just to show like these are the people that are in hands of like species that are, you know, slipping out of existence. And like, these are the people responsible for some of the last like tigers and lions. And
seeing that kills me.
And they're just like, yeah.
It makes me think of, you know, people that pay to go to Africa to kill lions.
To hunt,
to hunt.
the poaching.
It makes me really sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it goes on. You know, it happens.
Because it's very profitable. The hides and the, you know,
it is.
The ivory from the tusks of the elephants. They used to trade all that. And the thing is,
they want the fake fur.
They went over that. Fake fur is actually better. I actually prefer fake fur to real fur.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to have to kill a lion to get their fur.
Isn't that so funny too? That used to be like one of those things. Like, it's kind of like how like back in like the 1600s, they used to say like fat people were like it was cool to be fat because that meant you had money.
you had
you
had access to food and drink and lavish lifestyle.
Right. So it's kind of like that in the same way.
Yeah.
What was I just talking about? I just completely forgot what I was
Tigers.
Tigers.
Yeah. And poaching. Are you saying poaching and people going over there and paying money to.
Yeah. Thank you. I completely blanked out. But yeah, my comparison was that it was cool to be fat back then. And then over time, it became cool to be thinner. And then I'm saying back then it was kind of a cool thing to have authentic, real ivory and real animal fur and animal skin. And now that fad is kind of going out of style. Yeah. It's crazy that's kind of like the way our patterns and our perception on.
I hope that goes out of style. I don't want people to kill animals for their fur.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I agree. That's a good thing that's going out of style.
So yeah.
And hey, I guess getting in shape is also a good thing to come back in style.
That is a good thing. It's good
lifespan.
Yes, definitely.
And segueing into health. Talk about your device over here.
I got my diffuser over here. TJ's got his nickname for it, but no, this is my diffuser with my essential oils into it. So, got something pumping through this.
So what does it do?
So a diffuser,
for those who don't know.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I like to think of a diffuser as a natural candle. So candles are great for the home. They create a good mood, a good atmosphere. They give you all the cozy vibes. They make you feel good, right? They're not really good for us though. So there's a lot of toxic fumes that come off of candles between their soot and their wax and, paraffins in them. And there's just a lot of chemicals in them. So I make different blends or, there's obviously pre-made blends you can buy and I just pop them in my diffuser, put some water in there and turn it on. And it does the same exact thing, but these actually just come straight from plants. So
do you mix it with water? Or is it just straight solution?
So you put the oils in, you pour the water in, and then you put the lid on and turn it on. So this one comes with a remote, which is nice. It's got sound on here. You can plug in your phone too if you want to jam out. So you just put your oils in, put the water in. It's really, really easy. I usually keep like a glass type something, next to it just for water and then put a couple oil bottles right there. Yeah. So I always have it and it takes 30 seconds and it's really nice. You also don't have to worry about burning your house down with this, which is really nice.
Yeah,
like if you leave it on, it's not a big deal. If you don't blow out a candle, of course. So it's kind of like it's getting more attention, which I'm really excited about because I think for a long time people thought oils were weird and I was one of those people. So I think it's getting a little bit more attention, which makes me happy because really everybody wants to be healthy and to make the best decisions, right? For their themselves, their families, and this is a really good easy swap.
Yeah. So when did you get involved with Young Living and essential oils? Like kind of give the backstory for those wondering.
Yeah, so I was just talking to Trent about this. My oldest brother Trent in 2014, I think near the end of 2014, he had cancer, which TJ, Mm-hmm. We don't have any cancer in our family. This was totally new to us, as you can remember.
Yeah, it was very foreign.
And it was very scary for me. I was in nursing school. I was stressed. I was in college, so I was just really scared when all this happened. So really after that happened, I started thinking like, okay, there's got to be something like that caused this. Like we don't know about cancer really, So I just started looking into my products and there's a really great website. If you guys are interested in looking at ingredients, it's called ewg.org. And they just break down, all the chemicals that are in our ingredients and things that companies won't tell us, which is really informative. So I just started doing my research and I stumbled upon Young Living with one of my patients. I was working at the hospital at the time and she had a bottle of frankincense sitting at her bedside table. So of course I'm like, isn't that what Jesus used? She's like, yeah. This is the best stuff ever. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't really know what it is, but I'm intrigued. So I tried them out and kind of got into it a little bit. And of course they have natural products and excuse me, it's a lifestyle kind of thing, it's trying to switch out products for healthier options. So that was about 2015 or 2016 when I started. So
and so she kind of brought you on to Young Living, your friend did.
Yeah, well, she's a friend now, but she was a patient at the time.
Okay.
So yeah, she had told me she was using lavender for one of her kids who had ADHD and her husband had really bad COPD and she was using eucalyptus and lemon and different oil blends for that. So that really caught my attention, being, in nursing school and wanting to know the health of things and the science behind things. And so I was like, how does all this work? So she kind of broke it down for me. And I was so intrigued after that. I mean, I wanted a natural way, after going through everything we did with Trent. And then it kind of spiraled from there. You mean
using
the products?
It?
Yeah.
So you found a lot of success. So what is it? So a lot of the times it makes your mood, it improves your mood. Improves your mood. It's
good for relaxation. I mean, I'm sitting here and me just breathing this in, it truly makes a difference on the way you feel. So I'm very relaxed right now, very calm. Oils are good for creativity. And if you have pain or inflammation, it's a natural way of helping with that. They're good for focus. And, I kind of have a squirrel like ADD brain. So for me, it helps me kind of focus. And I like to use this when I'm working. So there's a lot of different ways to use it. But I always tell people, if you love candles, or if you love scents in your home, like plugins or air fresheners, like it's a good clean swap.
So how long do you have to leave this thing running before you can get like results from it? Like how often, like, is there like a physical way to tell whether it's like kicking in, in a way?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. No. So it actually only takes 22 seconds for essential oil molecules to reach the brain and the liver when you're diffusing them. So they're so molecularly small that they're able to get into your system.
They're probably going right into the blood and the lungs and all that.
Yep. So when you diffuse them, it's almost immediate. And then topical application, of course, it has to go through all different, systems and get through your blood. And so that takes a little bit longer. But 20 minutes tops for skin topical application. So,
really? So what is the fastest way to ingest oils?
To get the benefits?
To get an effect.
Either diffusing them, or you can even take them internally too. If you're using high quality ones.
You eat it?
You can I put frankincense under my tongue. So, and actually while I'm thinking about this, so you and I in Disney were talking about how we were admiring Egyptians and how cool they were. Well, Egyptians used essential oils heavily. It was the kings and the queens who used them because this was a lavish lifestyle. Like this was like luxury at its, at its finest.
Of course.
So the servants would bring oils to the kings and queens. And I just thought that was cool because you and I were just talking in Disney how I
feel like that's a thing that went around along a lot in the Middle East as well. Obviously, with like Jesus and all, and the Bible with the gold, like you said, like isn't this what Jesus got? Like the frankincense and myrrh. So like they kind of were delicacies in history, and they've kind of been. They were kind of lost over time, but now they're kind of getting a revival. Just kind of like as we were saying with, poaching and all that. It's kind of the same thing. It's coming back, kind of comes in and out with waves.
It comes in and out in waves. And like I said, I mean, I was one of those people too that I was hesitant because, essential oils, it sounds like you're going full on hippie. And I didn't want that reputation. I'm like, I feel like that's not who I am. But like I said, it was more or less trying to find something natural to make me feel like I was putting my health in my own hands and being preventative and not waiting for something to happen after seeing that with Trent. So it was really helpful.
So I have a question. So what makes Young Living better than any of the other, oils, or like just like extracting it yourself even? Like
that would be really hard to extract it yourself.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the specifics. I'm just asking if that's even a thing.
Yeah, so Young Living's been around for I think it's 27 years now. And we are like the OG company for essential oils. So we are literally the world leader in essential oils. And of course, there's other companies out there who also make essential oils. The problem with essential oils is they're not regulated. So same thing like how, supplements and vitamins that you could go get at GNC, like there's not really tight regulations on them, right? Like
Why not?
They're super loose. The FDA just doesn't regulate them. So it's not something that they have control over. So
then who controls
to
it?
market, I mean, so
is it just its own thing, or
it's its own entity almost? Like, I mean, they don't have a say over what these people put on their labels. So I mean, there could be a label. You could go to Whole Foods, which I love to get food from there, but I wouldn't get my oils from there. So you could turn over a label and it'll just say to you 100% therapeutic grade essential oil.
Right, because I was gonna say that's kind of what I was getting at, was because you see in the stores on the shelves. Made with essential oils,
right.
So what is the difference between getting it at Young Living and going and getting it at the grocery store, I guess is my question.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and this is why Young Living is super important to me, because they're different. They do things very, very different there. So Young Living is super transparent. They let you come to any farm you want to and see the entire process from seed to seal of the bottle.
So you can go there and actually see how they, when they plant each of their plants, and then they take you to the.
I've planted lavender, and I've also seen the entire process of it coming through the steam distillery and going right into the bottle and being packaged.
Wow.
So like I was saying about the labels, for an oil to be on the market, all they have to have is 5%. 5% of the actual oil of the plant in a bottle of essential oil for them to label it as 100%.
Wow.
So meaning they can actually add in chemical solvents and synthetic fragrances and just other things that are toxic to our body, which inevitably defeats the purpose of using essential oils in the first place. So I always tell people, I'm like, if you don't want to spend the money and get high quality essential oils, then it might not be for you.
So a lot of these, you're saying all these other companies put a lot of, preservatives and pesticides, even, maybe, I don't know, or whatever.
Yeah, they use pesticides on their plants. And that's another huge thing. Young Living owns their own farms, which separates them from all the rest.
Yeah.
So when you don't own your own farms, you don't technically have control over
you're
what
regulated
goes
by
on.
the FBA and the government and all of that.
So, yeah. So I've been with this company it's been five years now, and I trust them to my core. Like, I've done all the research, I've seen the farms, I've been there, I've planted my own lavender. I mean, it's really easy to confuse consumers on labels, and that's what marketing is, right? Like, showing people what they want to see and telling what they want to hear. But yeah, so definitely if you're open to using essential oils or even learning about them, do some research, and see what's out there. But I did my research on Young Living, and they are definitely the top of their field. So yeah.
So when did you go to these farms?
Well, before COVID, so a couple years ago, I went to Young Living's convention. So it would have been 2 years ago, because they had a virtual one last year, and then this year they're doing a virtual one again. So 2 years ago, I went there, and it's a week long, and you go there and you get to see all the different products they have, and then also see the process, like I said, from seed to seal, which is really nice. So yeah, that was 2 years ago.
So they had like a big, was it like a bunch of like ambassadors there essentially? So what would you call your title exactly within the company?
Brand ambassador. Or
okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically, we're distributors, but
So
I
sell the oils?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. So I was using them so much. I was 2.5 years in, and it just felt like something that, I mean, how my personality is. I've always felt like I wanted to do sales and be an entrepreneur. And I don't think I said this on here yet, but I'm also a registered nurse, and I love being a nurse, but I also felt like a part of me wanted something more too. I wanted to do something else. And I don't know, I think this is it for me. It feels right, and it's a really good job to have.
Yeah. It's a side hustle.
A side hustle, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I always praise that, or I always take pride in the fact that the podcasting for me is similar in the sense that it's a side hustle. Like, it's just something I do for fun.
Yes.
And if I gain success from it, then that's more of a reason to continue doing it.
Absolutely.
But, I know it's a ladder everybody's got to climb if you're, in this business.
Yes.
In a sense, as soon as you step foot in the, marketing media business, you got to get into it. And that's kind of the thing. Like, you realize that you think it's just going to be a side hustle, but sometimes it can impede on your life, you know,
Yeah.
and you have to be able to juggle that when that happens. You
For
know, like
sure.
there's a lot of times where I just don't want to edit, but I gotta edit. I gotta get it done. Like I gotta get it out there. And I feel so much better when it's out there. You know, it's
Yeah.
always just the worst part is the actual making it.
Right.
But once the product's out there,
Once it's finished.
you feel great. Like
You do.
same thing like what I was saying before off air. We were talking and you were a little, you were a little anxious about doing this because you had never done anything like this. And I'm like, you watch, when you get out, you'll want to do it again immediately. And that's how I was the first time I did my first 10-minute awkward opening episode. That's actually my most listened to episode, which is crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, it was my worst episode. I mean, I literally got on there in the studio in Columbus and just was kind of muttering through the microphone, like stumbling my way through it. Had no idea what I was going to say, but I was just like...
But that's how you learn.
I was like, I got to get my feet in the water. And like...
For sure.
Yeah, so you want to... What do you want to do? Where's the next level for this? Because obviously, like, I'm not that familiar with Young Living. So like,
Right.
how do you grow in Young Living? And like, what steps and precautions are you going to take to do that? I guess is my question.
Yeah. So, and I mean, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but I was full-time as a nurse and I actually cut back my hours to part-time because this has become something, it's growing for me. So I'm starting to put more time, more effort, more energy into this because it's honestly fulfilling a lot of me. So
yeah, it's something you believe in.
It's something I believe in. It's something I'm passionate about. I love the products. And then I also get to work with my friends. So I think that's what's huge for me with Young Living. Excuse me, I want to take a drink really quick.
Go ahead.
I think that's what's huge for me, though, with Young Living is that I get to do this business with a lot of other women that I love.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can say that about a lot of other jobs, and I don't even want to call it a job because it's not, like you said, like it's something that you enjoy. It's something fun,
hustle,
like a side hustle. Well, but now it's like my full side hustle.
Yeah, now it's becoming just a hustle. Yeah.
But I love the hustle. Like I'm all about grit and really getting down and dirty and doing the work. So, but I've built more relationships through this business than any other job that I've had, you know? So it's about relationships for me and it's about building a community, which is great. So to answer your question, the next level would be, there's ranks in this company, just like any other company that's built this way. So obviously to rank up would be the next.
And how do you rank up? By selling more oils?
Selling more oils, but Young Living is so much more than just oils. Like I said, it was when I first got started into this, yes, I wanted to use the oils, but for me, it was finding products that I could trust, that were natural products, even just like swapping out my deodorant. Like that was important to me to not be slabbing aluminum on my armpits,
Yeah.
Because we do that for 20, 30 years, and then people end up with cancer and they're like, wait, how did I get cancer? It's like, well, our lotions, our soaps, our body wash, our hair, shampoo.
Yeah, they're all made in a factory.
Everything is mass produced and has chemicals. And so, like I was saying earlier, when Trent had cancer, it opened my eyes. It opened my eyes to chemicals in our products. And so for me, like that was huge. So yes, it's selling oils, but it's also selling other products too. And it's selling a brand. It's selling a brand that people can trust, a brand that has integrity, that's honest about their ingredients. Because we need that. We're just sitting here earlier talking about authenticity. We need that. Like people crave that right now more than anything. And so I feel good when I'm, telling somebody, sharing about a product that I'm using, that it's authentic, it's real, it's natural, it's not going to cause side effects because of something in there. It's not something our body's not going to recognize. So yes, so selling oils and these products, but we like at Young Living, we don't call it selling, we call it sharing.
Sharing.
So sharing with friends and just really just telling people about, the effects that some of these chemicals can have. But I don't like to talk about that too much because I don't want to, it's not supposed to be a depressing thing. It's just supposed to be eye-opening.
What?
To talk about chemicals and what they can do on our body.
Yeah.
Causing cancer and causing thyroid issues and hormonal issues for females. I mean, that's a huge thing right now, women not being able to get pregnant. And so that's another thing that like I talk about with chemicals and swapping out. So, yeah. Yeah.
What was I going to ask you? I had a question.
I'm going on and on and on.
No, I had a question and I lost it. Oh yeah, the process of making the oils. So because I'm a little stuck on it. So because you went and saw, so they show you every single.
They do
every single step. So what are the steps? Like again, so you take the seed, so you plant the seed, right, and then it grows out of the ground.
The crop grows,
and then
put it in this huge machine, and this oil. I mean, it comes down to an oil, literally.
So literally juices it. So what does it do? So does it to compress it basically? Or?
It does, yeah. And then it extracts, through, it's called steam distillation. It extracts the oil from the plant. So the oil of the plant is just where all the healing properties are.
Yeah.
So every plant has it, And this is such a random fact, but I learned this in Costa Rica. So 50% of all of our drugs that are made come from the tropical rainforest. So 50% come from plants from the tropical rainforest.
That's why Costa Rica has some of the best healthcare in the world.
Yes. It's amazing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then of course, outside of that 50%, there's other plants too, but that was just, for the tropical rainforest. But yeah, so it's compressed, and then the oil, I mean, these machines are huge. Like it's crazy. It was wild.
Where's this facility at?
I went to the one in Utah.
How many do they have?
Utah. They have a lot. So they're worldwide. Young Living is worldwide. It's a global company. They do over $1 billion in sales. So it's a big company. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So they're trusted and respected, and they have great values. So, and then also, so that's steam distillation for most of the plants.
Yeah, back to
citrus things like orange and lemon and tangerine. Those are from the rind. They're cold pressed from the rind. So think about like
the rind. What's the
rind of like of the orange, like the outside.
Oh,
when
like
you
the
peel
skin?
back the skin. Yeah. So they cold press it, and they get so if you were to put like a drop of lemon in your water, lemon essential oil, it's still a lemon that you'd cut up in your kitchen, right?
Yeah.
But it's more powerful. So it can do a lot more because it's concentrated. So if you put a lemon in your water, 1 drop of lemon, it's 2 whole lemon. Like the juice of 2 whole lemons for 1 drop. Like they're powerful. But again, this is if you're using really good oils, You don't want to ingest the oils you get from other stores. No. I would be very cautious about that. But yeah, so cold pressed and steam distillation are the 2 methods. So it's really neat. You would enjoy the process. You would like to see it.
Yeah, because I'm very technical like that. But
yeah.
So basically that's all they do is they just squeeze the oil and then they put it in a bottle and that's it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's a little bit more technical in these machines.
Yeah.
Once you see it, but essentially,
yeah.
Yes, that is it. So all of these crops go right into this. It sucks them in and gets all their juice out. Yeah. So it's really, really cool. And there's hundreds of different oils. Obviously, there's tons of plants. You think of trees and flowers and resins, herbs, seeds.
So I know these can help affect your mood, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're mainly used for.
That's what a lot of people use them for.
Yeah.
For stress.
That's where I've really seen all of the advertisements for it is on a lot of the mood stuff and even painkillers a little bit.
Yeah, so you can use essential oils for pain too. Yes, and inflammation reduction. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different uses for them. It just depends on really what you're looking for. So this diffuser, though, you can put a ton of different blends in there and make it sets the tone, right? Like it sets the tone.
It looks it looks like a science project. The way it's the lights and the bubbly. It's kind of cool.
So this is actually the new diffuser that just came out too. This color, I love this one. But yeah, the output on this.
How many of these do you have?
So I probably have 10.
10?
10 diffusers.
Do you have one in every room?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because before I used oils and diffusers, I had a candle in every room.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready to go out, I'd want a candle burning. I love good smells. I love the cozy feel.
Do you just have
a
different smell in every room in your house?
Yeah.
If
you like vanilla and orange, you can put that in one room. If you like peppermint and citrus,
2 colors.
You can do all different stuff. So it's pretty nice. Or earthy tones. Some people like earthy tones or trees. There's all different ones. So if you're into Yankee Candle or Bath and Body Works, we have the same. You can make the same blends, but make them good for you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you can.
We got to get you to try these out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass the diffuser over to you here soon. See how you feel.
Isn't it plugged in though?
Yeah, it is plugged in. It is.
I'll get a sniff of it.
There you go.
I'll waft it over.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
But I wanted to talk about I wanted to go back to the animals a little bit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about what is one place that you, in traveling as well, what's one place that you haven't been to that you would want to go to? Africa. And what animals would you want to see?
Africa.
You've never been to Africa?
I've never been to Africa.
I'm acting like I've been there.
I know. You're like,
I would have assumed you would have been there just because you love, that kind of landscape. You love the animals there and the wildlife.
I do. I love it. So, lions, tigers, I know they're different, but to me, they're just big cats. I love cats. So definitely want to go there and do an African safari. I feel like that'll be awesome. Giraffes and more elephants, zebras, monkeys. I mean, all of it, like all of it. I told Matt, I said, if we go to Africa, I might not come home. I might move there.
Might leave you there.
So yeah, I feel like part of me is called to do work with animals. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's something later in life.
You have two cats.
Two cats
as well.
Yep, we just got another cat. They're pretty awesome.
Somewhere.
And it's funny. I just had a conversation with a couple girls I work with, and they were like, "We are not cat people." And I said, it's funny. So many people say that until they have a cat. Because again, I was that person. I was that person with the oils. I was that person with cats.
Yeah.
My parents rescued 3 cats, and we had never had cats before. We just didn't want them to die outside, under our porch.
Yeah, they're freezing.
So in the cold, and cats are really cool. And I'll tell you, domestic cats and cats in the wild, like big cats, tigers, lions.
Yeah, what's the difference?
They have the same mannerisms.
Yeah.
Like they really, really do. I watch tons of videos. Kevin Richardson, the lion whisperer, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching him for years. I mean, I'm obsessed with cats. And they're really not that much different. Of course, they're domesticated and they're smaller, but they have the same mannerisms. They're so cool. Yeah,
because like they even like sometimes cats, like friends that I've known that have had cats like for eternity, they act very much like wild cats. Like they still have that primal instinct
they do.
inside of them. Like,
I mean,
you see like my friend's cat, he would get like behind like a piece of furniture and you'd see his head like peering like this, like
he's
low to the ground. And you would see him and then like we'd throw something out and he would just bolt after it like he was hunting. It was like, I was like, man, that is very primal. And you think like
he's hunting you.
Yeah. Good luck. But I was just saying like it is crazy that you notice that because with the big cats, because like they're only a few generations down, like between
it's crazy.
And like it's crazy the way they domesticate animals.
That's is.
Just like
I think though a lot of the people that don't like domestic cats, I'm not sure that they like the big cats either. I think they think they don't like
animals. And I mean, if you don't like domestic animals, you're not going to like a wild animal.
well, they like a lot of the people I've talked to like dogs, but not cats.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
They'll say I'm a dog person or I'm a cat person. Like I'm both. Like I just like animals. I would love to have a zoo at my house of dogs and cats.
Yeah, you're getting there. So, you got 2 cats.
We're getting there. Yeah, we'll be getting dogs soon.
But do you have you seen those Planet Earth documentaries?
Yes.
I've seen them all too.
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
Sometimes you see some of those shots and you're like, how the hell did they get, a spider on a little spider web in the middle of a tree?
Insane.
Like catch a fly that goes into it, and then you see it like in the angle. I'm like, how do they get that shot? Because I can barely get the freaking cameras to shoot for this podcast, right? Let alone
I'll tell you
that whole deal.
And my thing too, like they'll say like that one of these tigers are almost extinct, and they'll get like traces of them walking through the snow, and I'm like, well, how'd you know where they were going to be?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you know where to set your camera up?
Yeah. They get them right as they're coming out.
Oh my God. And they'll get it like straight on too, like their face. Like they were like walking towards the camera. I'm like, how did you know he was going to walk towards that camera? I mean, do they just have 100 million cameras all around the land? Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
That's probably it. Yeah.
It's crazy. David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He's incredible.
Yeah.
I love his life. I love everything
he's fascinating.
He did. He's fascinating. And that's part of the reason why I said if I go to Africa, I don't know if I'll come back. I love the adventure. Back to what you and I were saying about vacations and adventure. And I love activities and being on the go.
Can't sit on the beach.
I can't sit on the beach. I mean, it's nice to have a cold beer, you know, and relax for one day. But excuse me, the next day I'm ready to get up and going.
Right.
And ready to do something
and
else.
like a bunch, and like the beach activities can only get you so far. Like the banana boat and the parasailing and the waters, the jet skis and all that.
Have you been parasailing?
Yeah,
you have.
Yeah, Lexi and I went once.
Yeah.
Where were we when we did that?
Jamaica.
No, I've never been to Jamaica.
Aruba.
No, it wasn't Aruba. I don't even know. I don't remember where. I'll have to ask her. She even know, but we did do it.
Were you scared when they dipped your toes in the water that maybe a shark would come up and nibble?
No, I wasn't scared of that. I'm not scared of the ocean or heights, but I'm scared of bees. That's my biggest fear.
You're scared of bees?
Bees are my biggest fear.
Are you allergic?
No.
Really?
I just get anxiety around them. I've been stung so many times and I'm still like terrified of them.
Yeah.
I was like scarred because when I was younger, I was playing in the woods behind our house. I was building a tree house back there, actually. And I was carrying my little hammer and nails. And I was walking into the woods and I stepped on a wasp nest. And they all just start coming out and they just come right at me and start stinging me. And I like ran into the yard and had to pull them off.
Oh my gosh.
I like ran out of the woods and ran back into my yard because the woods was like across the street from my house. So I had to run across the street and like ran into my yard and just laid on the ground and just was like very much in pain.
I think, I'd be scared of bees then too. I didn't have quite that experience when I was little.
And then I got stung at a football game too, and that was embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
After a football game. Grade school.
So
like ever since then, I've been I get anxious when they're around. Yeah, and tense and like defensive. Huh. And like if I had the buzzing, just gives me anxiety too. The buzzing. Like, the buzzing gets me. Like,
isn't that weird? People's like different phobias though, because bees don't bother me. Bees don't bother me.
But like, yeah, that's the same thing. Like spiders, snakes, mice, none of that scares me. But it's like the flying is what I think gets me because it's God. You hear the flying, the buzzing, like that you can't control. Like a spider, it's gonna crawl around, but you can step on a spider pretty easily. You can stomp on a spider pretty easily.
I just that for me is
but they're scarier looking for sure.
They're
spiders,
creepy,
they're very
they're
unsettling. But the thing is with bees and wasps for me is they sting and they can fly and land anywhere on your body. You know, like you never feel safe. Like a spider, the only way that's going to threaten you is if it actually gets on you. Then you're at the will. But
I don't even think I'm scared of what they can do to me. I think it's just the eerie creepiness of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, but spiders, man, they're just, I don't know. They just don't really.
They don't bother you?
No, not really. Just because of the wings thing. It's the wings thing.
It's the wings. See, and it's the creepy legs for me. It's the creepiness of them.
Yeah. Anyway, and there's a lot of horror movies based around spiders.
Yeah. And Fear Factor, when they would lay in those
Fear Factor was the greatest show ever.
And wasn't that a good show?
Yeah.
And they would. I could have done the stunts where they like jumped off of things. Like I'm like I'm not afraid of heights.
The more activity stunts.
The activity stunts, but to lay in a box of spiders, letting them crawl all over you.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, the spiders.
I don't want the $1 million. I'm done.
I remember I watched the one where they had the girl they had her lay in the plastic container, and it was like the spiders. She had spiders on her feet.
Like cockroaches or something?
No, she had roaches on her feet. Yeah, she had snakes on her like midsection, and she had like
spiders on her face.
Scorpions. She had scorpions on her face, and she literally had an absolute just. As soon as they dumped it on her, she was done. She's like, I
think
many creepy crawlies
to do that. Like, you have to transport yourself into another place mentally.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Like,
no doubt.
You have to. Oh my gosh, that takes some mental power. I don't know that I could do that.
Yeah, it's
tough.
It's anxiety inducing.
I could do where they eat the gross things. Like I could
really.
Do that. Yeah, I could. Yeah.
What's the grossest thing you've ever eaten?
The grossest thing I've ever eaten?
Yeah, I mean, you've been to some of these foreign countries. You had to try some of their food, right?
I mean, yeah, I think
Thai food. They have very spicy food.
I think some of the meats in other countries is a little bit sketchy compared to what we're used to here in America.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what I was eating half the time. You know, you're safe with rice and beans.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So you didn't eat anything like nasty? Anything that you were just like...
I'm sure I did in college when I was in a sorority. I think we did stuff like that. But I honestly can't remember. I know you've eaten some...
Yeah, in my days. I've tried some things. But I've always just like... It's so funny because I used to be such a picky eater growing up. Yeah. I mean, everybody in the family used to joke that I was... I'd only order chicken fingers and fries at
your favorite restaurant. I
still love chicken fingers and fries.
Your favorite restaurant was Golden Corral.
I loved it.
You loved it because it was a buffet. You could get pizza, chicken fingers, fries, mac and cheese.
Yes.
Which, those are my favorite foods.
Yes, but you'd have to leave room for the chocolate fountain after, and the peanut butter chocolate fountain.
Oh my gosh.
That were there.
That sounds amazing.
They used to have, you could dip like chocolate and graham crackers in it. You could dip marshmallows in it. So like,
yes. Should we have one of those?
That was
at my
like
wedding?
a paradise for a kid. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even talk about the fact that you're engaged yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Man, we were drawing blanks, weren't we?
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Can we get one of those over here?
You should get one for your wedding.
Yeah, I think I might.
When did you get engaged again? I liked the photo.
You did like the photo.
I think I commented too.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Let me
I only comment on special occasions.
Yeah, that's very true. I think it was October or November. Oh, this is terrible. Matt, don't kill me if you're going to listen to this. I don't remember. It was a couple months ago. I think October.
I don't remember.
Okay, listen. I'm not that girl that like keeps track. I'll just be honest. I'm not the girl that keeps track of all the dates. And I mean, I'm a romantic person for sure, but I'm also just that's not on my mind all the time.
No, I understand.
I don't know. It's been a couple months. I mean,
where did he do it again?
It was in the Grand Tetons. So it was out west. We went to Montana and Wyoming with Trent and Michelle. So my oldest brother, Trent.
Great pandemic vacation spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it was so adventurous, which is like up my alley. I loved it. I think we did 25,000 steps. Matt made me do 25,000 steps to get that ring. So, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we were sweaty. I was gross. I probably looked crazy, but I didn't care. It was so much fun. And yeah, it was such a great time. Like I'm so happy that he did it there, and it was an experience for all of us. And then Trent and Michelle got to be a part of it too, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So they were filming with their GoPros, and that it just like fed the moment even more.
Right.
You know, so that was really cool.
So it was just you four.
It was us.
And
four.
where exactly did he do it? Was it like at a special landmark, or did you just pull up at like a? It was
at one of the lakes. I think it was called Phelps Lake. I might be wrong, but it was a beautiful lake. And his plan was great. He was going to do it where there was like a rock you could jump off of. Well, when we finally got down there, it was the last stop of the day. So like I said, we had hiked for hours and hours. We had done miles, like 10, 15, 20 miles. I don't even remember. And we finally got down to the bottom where this rock was. And Matt, that was the place Matt wanted to do it. But I remember him saying to me, here, go get in like the trees area and I'll take your picture. I'm like, what? I don't want my picture here. I'm like, why are you pushing me down here? And
yeah, you know something's up when he's asking you to take a picture.
Yeah, he asked me if he could take my picture. I'm like, what? Like, that's so weird. So it was like right next to the jumping rock, but it was kind of in like some trees, and the lake was right behind it. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And Trent and Michelle, like, obviously knew this was happening. Like, this was the moment. So they were, like, right behind. And then, you know, I turned around to say, Matt, like, what? And he was on his knee already. So it was perfect. And it was beautiful. Like, oh, my gosh, it was beautiful. If you guys have not, people who are listening, if you've not been out to the Grand Tetons, Glacier National Park, Yellowstone.
Where is that? Oh, isn't that in California?
Wyoming and Montana.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking
Wyoming
of
and Montana.
You're thinking of
Yosemite.
Yeah, never mind.
So, and that was the first time. So, you know how we are. I feel like, I mean, I try to get most of my traveling out of the country done now while we're younger. So I've not really done a lot of traveling like necessarily in the United States. So it was really cool to go. I mean, of course, we've been to Colorado and California, but I've never done the national parks. That was amazing. Like, I want to go to more now after being on that trip.
The United States has so many underrated vacation spots.
For sure.
And everybody's always looking to go to Europe and Asia and Africa, and it's like, yeah, I get the
cool thing to do.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, it definitely is. But like, the U.S. has some underrated spots, and like we have every single like weather that you could have.
Yeah.
You know, there's the swampy rainforests of Florida, and you got the mountainous western plains, and then you have the hot deserts and, you know, the Southwest, and the snow up in the Northeast. Like, and yeah, it's very, there's different landscape everywhere in America.
For sure.
And everybody just kind of,
some of the places look like a green screen. Like I was saying about Iceland, it was insane. I mean, some of the pictures that we got in Glacier,
they probably have a lot of like ancient ruins there and stuff, don't they? From like people that used to live there, you know, like old. Do they have like a lot of old buildings, like not buildings, but like home, you know, like civilizations?
Yeah, they do. I mean, we hiked all over, so yeah, they definitely do have some of that. But just the natural. I mean, they had geysers and all these huge mountains. I can't even. I mean, like I said, I've been to Colorado and that was amazing, but this was different. Like to be able to do all the hiking and. I don't know. It was really cool because we're used to skiing, right? Like on snow. So you're not really seeing the beauty of the mountains. Yeah. But some of these pictures we got in Glacier they didn't even look like we were standing in front of a real mountain, right? Like it looked like it was photoshopped on there. So that's how the
Swiss Alps were.
Yeah. You've been.
Yeah. I went to the Swiss Alps.
Very cool.
In 2016.
With Moeller, your class of Moeller,
my
right?
high school. Yeah. Moeller. And I did the same trip that Trent did.
Okay.
So we went to Switzerland and then Munich and then Rome. Yeah, Swiss Alps were like that, man. You
jealous of that trip.
Yeah, you looked and it looked like something out of the Lord of the Rings at some points, you know, with those shots.
Yes.
You know, that's New Zealand, but still, like, you know, it had those kind of vibes.
I want to go there for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely
New Zealand for sure.
Like that's the thing. I do want to travel out of the country, but I was just making a point that like, the U.S. has like some underrated vacation spots, but yeah, I definitely still want to go out of the country.
I think having a good balance of both.
Yeah.
Although
maybe
right
like
now,
one in country a year and then one out of the country a year.
Yeah.
That's something.
I think right now though, with all of the restrictions, honestly, I mean, get your trips in the country, you know, if you can, or I guess out of the country. I don't know, but yeah. So definitely some good places in the United States. Yeah. Like I said, we need to book another trip. I'm always planning the next trip. I'm trying to get Trent to go to either Hawaii or Alaska in the next month.
There you go. Oh, I would love to go to Alaska. I want to move to Alaska someday. When I get old, I'm going to move there and just go off the map.
I think Alaska would be so cool. Like dog sledding, that is something I totally want to do. I want to go dog sledding and whale watching. I think that would be really cool too.
Yeah, whale watching. Those are crazy.
Take creatures. A helicopter ride over. Yeah, they are huge. They're huge. So, Trent swam with whale sharks. I would like to do that too.
Yeah,
and with great whites.
Where did he do that?
That was in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's right.
That was in the Philippines, right. And then he swam with great whites in Hawaii. So. I would like to do that too.
Yeah, I want to go. I would definitely go cage diving with sharks.
Yeah. Just hope the cage doesn't.
Yeah.
Snap open, or the shark doesn't get it in its mouth.
Yeah, or keep your limbs inside.
Yeah, right.
But I'd like to have one just swim right up to me.
I know, it'd be so cool.
They're crazy.
Hi, Shay.
Apex predator of the ocean.
Apex predator.
Is that Shay?
That's Shay. Yeah, one of my parents' cats. She's meowing in the background. So lots of adventures to come. Just hoping that everything kind of settles down.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with all that. But the traveling it's been what it is. But honestly, like I'm surprised they even let people on planes.
I kind of am too.
I know. Like I'm in the plane and I'm like, how are they?
We're not really 6 feet apart.
No, they're just like we'll just pack everybody in there.
Yeah. And even like when everybody's checking their bags in, like, you know, through Allegiant, Delta, whatever, and you're bringing your bag up to get weighed, everybody's standing so close to each other because they're all trying to get, you know. And
that's how it was at Disney. They tried to do the 6 feet apart lines, and everybody people just want to get in the line, or they want to get inside.
Yeah,
you know, like it was starting to rain when we were in line for one of those rides, and everybody's just like, okay, we gotta let's get going.
Move it along.
And like they But one thing I liked that Disney did that Universal didn't do was that they had the lines more spaced out, so it made it feel like you were moving more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because they were trying to do the Kobe stuff.
Right.
But so they had everybody 6 feet out, and what it did was like everybody just wasn't really adhering to it. So it made the line move faster because you were taking more steps to get there, and you weren't just all huddled in line. You know, you had a little bit of space, but like the flow was better, I guess.
The flow, yeah. I gotcha. I mean, yeah.
And that was like that. It's like that at the airport too. It's like that everywhere. Like lines. The pandemic has helped some lines, but only when there's civil disobedience to help the line move faster.
Yes. There's people at the end marking.
Right.
That was really nice. They had the people at
Get
the
your
end
civil disobedience in, folks. While you still can.
Yes. For sure.
But so anything else big coming up?
Like I said, we're planning a trip. And then we've got our bachelor and bachelorette parties. The wedding is in October. So yeah. I mean, Matt will be getting his first job, so that'll be good. Really, we're just hustling right now. you said you wanted to start a YouTube channel. This was something that we had talked about. So I definitely thought about it. I'm not 100%. Like, I don't know.
Really? You having reservations?
I have reservations. I don't know exactly what my content would be. Like, I have one part of me like wants to do travel. Another part of me wants to do like my business stuff. Another part of me is like, should I mix them? Is that too much? Like, I got a lot of ideas, but I just don't know.
Do it all. That's my advice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, and I'm doing other stuff too. I'm actually working on an animated short right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I'm coming out with in like 2 years.
Animated short?
Yeah, a short film.
What?
I'm working on it.
Was this like when...
This was a total spur of the moment thing last weekend that I decided I wanted to do.
Was this like when you used to move the different characters and take different shots of it?
No. Okay. I used to do a lot of stop motion animation. No, I don't do that anymore.
I remember that.
No, I'm going to hand draw it.
What? Really?
Yeah, I'm teaching myself how to draw. I'm teaching myself how to do animation because I want to be able to do it for marketing too. It's just really a skill that I want to learn.
Like, are you talking about like picture drawings for like films or?
Oh, no. Like my own, my own animated short film.
That's really cool.
Yeah, for me.
I need to see like a sneak preview.
I need to make a sneak preview first. I am very. I'm still trying to learn how to draw right now because I'm just like I'm also teaching myself piano.
Wow.
I want to teach myself how to play piano as well. Okay. That's another thing I'm doing.
That's really cool.
And I also may pick up DJing again.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have like your hand in all the different pots.
Yeah,
it's gonna get crazy.
I want to do a lot of different stuff, right? And that's the thing. Like I want to do it all, but like I don't have any rush. Like that's the thing. Like I have on my website, I just have the animated short right now is just for 2023 is the date, and I have a question mark next to it because I'm like, I don't know, maybe 23, maybe 24. I don't know. Like I'm down the road, but it's just something. It's a side project that I'm mulling around with, and then
see. I like that you said that though, that you don't have a rush because my personality, like I'm a go. So I feel like I'm the opposite. I do have that rush. And
I do for some things. But not for this. Not for this. Because it's just a personal project I'm working on. Like there's no deadline for it right now.
Right.
But for the podcast, I definitely get that kind of rush where I'm like, I need to get another one out.
Yes.
Like, it kind of starts to eat at me, and it's
yes.
Because I see I look on my page and I'm like, man, I've done one in a couple days. I need to get back in there.
A couple days. See, and that's how I feel about my Instagram, my business page. I feel like every single day I need to be producing content and good content.
Yeah.
Not just like content that people are like, so good content, and the rush of it is like affects me. Like I feel that every day, it's pressure. I think a lot of people, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, but I think a lot of people don't understand the amount of work that goes behind if you're running a business through Instagram or through Facebook or through any social media platform.
It's a lot of drone work. It's a lot of posting, and
it is, and it's a lot of behind the scenes, and
writing copy, and getting all the tags and the hashtags and all of that stuff. Yeah, Yeah, I understand. It's monotonous at times.
It is monotonous.
Yeah, but I've been using I use Hootsuite.
Hootsuite.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I actually learned about it in college.
What is it?
It's a website that you use, and basically you can manage your social media through there. So you can schedule posts. You can like I have my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Twitter linked up, and I just every time I post a podcast episode, I have it loaded up with the post through Hootsuite.
Gotcha.
So there's some free press for you, Hootsuite. Send some bills my way for that.
Yeah, there you
free
go.
Ad, but yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And for any of you out there, that's a good little tip for you to, if you didn't know about it, put that in your
Hootsuite.
pocket.
Yeah.
But
is that a free app that you can use?
It is. Yeah, it's free. You can do 3 accounts on it for free, and I think you can have 30 posts scheduled at one time, which I'm never even close to that.
Okay,
but.
so you can literally schedule like your whole month's post on there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you could.
That's
if
awesome.
You wanted. And yeah. But obviously with me, like I kind of record these episodes off the cuff. That's the thing. I never wanted a set schedule because I didn't want to have to adhere to it. It's really what it is. It's just like whenever I'm most inspired.
Yeah.
But I try to keep it,
that's
going. But sometimes
too.
I'll take a break and I'm like, oh, I need to get back into it, and I.
Yeah.
But
well, and the more you don't do something, the more you don't want to do it, right?
Right.
So like,
yes, that's a great point.
Being in it, is good to stay consistent. But sometimes it's nice just to take a little step away too, and not be doing it every single day, and then you can focus on your piano lessons and whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, my piano and my animation, all that.
Yeah, no, that's good. Sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on too.
A little bit. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of just me trying to get all the stuff I need to get stuff done.
Yeah,
like learning how to, and learning the skills, like learning how to draw, learning how to play an instrument. Like I haven't even taught myself anything about piano yet. I'm looking for a piano to buy.
You're gonna buy a piano.
Not like an expensive. I'm looking for like a one like under $100. Yeah, like a little plug in the wall MIDI keyboard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been looking for one on Facebook Marketplace right now.
Yes, I'll let you know if I find some. I
yeah.
Get stuff
next
all the
time next time you look for a keyboard, let me know.
Yes. No, I get a lot of things that pop up on Facebook Marketplace. So if I see one,
definitely. It's like the wow. It's kind of like Craigslist. Yeah. They definitely bootleg Craigslist big time. That's typical of Facebook too. Facebook and Twitter are the biggest like swagger. They're like the culture vultures. Like they come
vultures.
They come in. Yeah, they come in like like who was it? Snapchat came up with the stories.
Right.
Then Instagram steals their culture. And then in comes Twitter and they steal it too. They steal stories.
I didn't even think about that.
And then
that's so true.
Yeah, and then you got what were we just talking about? Oh yeah, Craigslist and eBay are getting jacked by Facebook Marketplace. And now even look at what the new update Twitter posted, where they are doing where you can charge like a monthly fee to read someone's tweets. So they're trying to jack OnlyFans. So it's like this.
I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't know
they're stealing everybody's MO.
Wow.
Like Snapchat's irrelevant now.
Right. I know. I don't go on Snapchat.
No.
I still do get snaps from people, and I'm like, man, it's kind of like a lot of effort to like open up that app.
The only snaps I post, the only snap stories I post are of ducks in the backyard. I have an ongoing duck documentary in my backyard because
right by your pond.
Feed the ducks behind our pond. Yeah.
Yes.
And we our next door neighbor Dale started feeding them, and next thing you know,
now they're
like there's like 50 of them. But I like it that way because they're better than the geese.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate geese, the Canadian geese, because they're hostile. Like, and they are. And they're just ugly birds. Like, I hate to say that, but they just are ugly birds. Like the big,
and then they poop all over the golf
course and their
too.
Poop is big white splatter. It's gross, and yeah, they're just the ducks are way more friendly. They're and they're prettier, honestly.
Yeah. I need to stop by the house again.
Yeah.
Maybe your parents will have dinner for me again.
They always are always cooking dinner. They're always cooking dinner.
Yeah, I need to stop by. That was nice.
Yeah. Whenever. We're always hanging out.
So you don't have plans to move away, do you?
I'm thinking about it.
Oh my gosh.
I kind of do. I don't have plans, but I want to move.
Yeah. I figured you would say that.
Why?
Well, your sister's gone, and I know you want that adventure, but I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, if you leave and Lexi's gone, where are your parents gonna
go? They'll probably go where Lexi is eventually.
So you can't leave. You can't leave. The family will be separate. Well, you could, but I'm just saying, like, the family will be separated. We won't be able to do as much. I'm selfishly wanting you to stay.
I mean, I am as of now, but
yeah.
As the pandemic starts to wind down, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But
well, you got a lot of balls moving, so you got a lot of things
I got a lot of projects.
On, so it's good that you're staying busy.
The one thing I'm upset about is I didn't get started on these projects a year ago.
Yeah, but that's what everybody says about everything. I wish I would have started my business sooner too. I wish I would have started when I was 16, that's 17, fair. 18.
That's fair. But it's like I just am starting to get back into like having a real life again. And like I had so much time over the pandemic that I could have spent on getting ahead on these things and But
that's the beauty of life though. Like that time is just supposed to be enjoyed because you're just there in the present, not having to worry about anything. Although it's funny in the moment, you don't see it that way, right?
No.
Like,
yeah,
you're like, oh my gosh, like I need to be doing something. I should be doing something. But really, it's nice. Like that time was really good for Matt and I just to kind of step back and like spend quality time together.
Yeah.
And not have
big time for couples.
Yeah.
It was a big time for couples.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, good and bad time though, because sometimes that quality time for other couples doesn't come out as well. But hey, that's honestly better off that way because then you can learn.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You learn. But we spent that time traveling. I mean, we were safe, but we were traveling. We're in our 20s. We wanted to go and do things.
Totally. And like, yeah, the West is the perfect place to travel. Like, you're not going to see anybody out there.
Right. Yeah.
Within,
when we were hiking,
miles of you. Yeah. You'll see a couple people, but that's it. Like Wyoming is not known for their populated areas, know,
just bears and coyotes.
Yeah.
No, it was quite the experience. So yeah, I mean, you got a lot of things going on. So you'll just have to take it day by day. Don't make a major decision.
I need to do it in baby steps is what I really need to do. Like I need to be like, learn how to play 3 Blind Mice today. On the piano.
There you go.
Learn how to pull, and then I don't know. Take it step by step.
Yeah. Well, when you do, then you have to teach me. I could play the recorder.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Hot cross buns on the recorder used to be a banger back in the day.
Yes.
Think about the recorder. The most annoying. It was literally the most annoying sounding instrument of all time. They're like, hey, what can we teach kids to play? Oh yeah, the most annoying and obnoxious instrument possible, the recorder. the recorder. Like not even the sax. I mean, I know that saxophones are probably way more expensive to make than a little recorder, but like
learn how to play the cello.
Yeah. I met somebody that knew how to play the cello. I forget who.
Brianna.
Oh, that's right. It was Brianna.
Yeah, my other brother Tyler's
Brianna. Yep, Brianna knew how. Shout out to Brianna. She knows the cello.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know I've heard my dad said that if you learn to play the piano, you can learn to play any instrument. I don't know if that's true. Probably because you can learn to read. I think it's really if you learn to read music, which is going to be, I guess, kind of hard for me because I was never good at that in middle school.
I wasn't either.
I always was very.
That was not.
I didn't really try. Granted,
yeah.
It's crazy. My creative part of my brain is lighting up in my 20s,
Yeah.
And usually it lights up for most people like when they're children. But like our art class for me never did anything for me until now. But even but I don't regret it, I'm more willing to learn now than ever before, and I'm not even in college anymore. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Go through my whole life just being like, man, I want to get out of school, and then as soon as I'm out of school, I'm like, man, I just want to learn more. Hey.
Sorry, there's gonna be a cat walking across.
Butsy. Hey, kitty.
That's so funny though, because I like distinctly remember when I was a freshman and when I was a sophomore in high school, I was in Spanish class and I just remembered thinking, sorry, he is just taking up the camera.
No,
I just remembered thinking like, I don't want to learn Spanish, right? Like I don't want to learn this at all. Now traveling to all of these other countries that are Spanish dominantly Spanish speaking countries, I feel like I'm at a
like
loss.
You're having FOMO.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, like had I taken that seriously, I would be able to better communicate with these people, get what we need out of our trip, find the things. It would be so much easier.
Yeah.
Like it's so difficult. The language barrier is so difficult. And it's funny too, like, I'm already kind of a loud speaking person.
Yeah.
And I find that I know a lot of other people do this too, but I find that when someone doesn't understand me, I just get louder. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why did I think that? Yeah,
because you think they don't hear you. Right. Yeah, they think, like, you think they don't hear you, but they just don't understand you.
Right. Like, they don't understand what I'm saying, but I just keep getting louder.
Where's the store?
Yeah. Puedo ir al baño. I do know that one. We had to learn that one in grade school. El baño and cerveza. I know how to say a beer. Like, where's the beer?
Donde es cerveza?
There's something to be said, though, about those times. Like, we put a lot of emphasis in high school and college on relationships, which is huge. I mean, it's fine, that some people take their studies very seriously. And I feel like I was a balance between the two. Like, I was serious about nursing school, but, like, also not too serious, Like, I wanted to have fun with my friends. And same thing in high school. But I mean, those times are good because you have fun and you build relationships with people. So, I mean, I guess I kind of regret that I didn't take Spanish seriously. But there's always more time.
Yeah.
My aunt became a doctor when she
was 50.
Rosetta Stone.
No, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
My aunt became a doctor when she was 50, in her 50s. Wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Yeah. So, you're kind of inspiring me to now like write down a list of things that I want to do. Like,
first things first, start your YouTube channel.
Start a YouTube channel. Well, how about this? How about the people that are going to listen to this podcast? They can say yay or nay whether I'd be good at starting out.
Do an Instagram poll. Do an Instagram poll.
Yeah.
Just something to think about.
Thoughts.
Something to mull about.
Mm-hmm. I think I just don't like, there's so many people out there who are like really, really good at YouTube videos. Like these travel videos are like
they didn't used to be.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to do Instagram and I'm trying to do networking in person with my business. I feel like I have a lot going on. I feel like I'm going to be at a place soon where I can take that on, but I'll have to get in touch with you and talk it out because I just don't know if I'm there.
Yeah.
So
I'd
have to think of what I would do for my first video.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people want to do it, but then they just like, they look into it and they're like, oh yeah, it's a lot of drone work. And it is. The editing process. I mean, for the travel videos, yeah, you're going to have a lot of time in editing, but that's kind of with those kind of videos. I feel like it's more fun to edit because you can kind of add personality to it and stuff. Cause like with podcast, I don't do a lot of fancy editing to this,
right.
I just kind of splice the video together and put the audio in, but so it's more grueling in that way. Cause you're not really doing anything interesting. You're just kind of doing the grunt work of it. And
right.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. That's probably the scariest thing I think for a lot of people that want to do content creation online is the actual editing part. Yeah. The idea of it is really awesome. You think about it.
It can be gruesome. Can take a long time.
Yeah. And the thumbnails and all that stuff. You put all that together. It's a lot of grunt work, but it pays off when you scroll through your library and you just see, man, I've done all these already. I'm at 35 and I think I've done a million of them, but
it's a good feeling, like you were saying earlier, when you finally have it completed. But yeah, it takes some time. And as far as editing goes too, like that's not really my thing. Like I'm not great at that.
It wasn't mine either. And I mean, it isn't really, it doesn't have to be your thing, but it's just a part of it. But really what the thing is you get a system down, I've done enough of these now to where I have an idea of what I'm going to do when I edit it, when I put it together.
Right.
And you get a system down and, the thing with editing is you don't have to pay full attention to it. Like I usually have something on, like I have music on or a show on or a movie on, and I'm kind of doing it.
In and
You're
out.
sitting on the couch, but it definitely is kind of a little bit time consuming for sure. But that's with anything. Like obviously with Instagram and a lot of the stuff you're doing online, like it's time consuming. Like you were saying, like composing all the posts, writing the copy, putting the little filters on and all that stuff. Like it's a lot.
And then things are always changing. So like, I was putting posts out and writing, long captions. And then it was, well, people don't want long captions. People want short captions. And then it was, the algorithm is doing this and this, and now it's reels. And so there's always something changing.
That's another thing they jacked. That's another thing they jacked is the reels, which is TikTok. Yeah. They jacked TikTok too.
Well, because TikTok is like the number one app, so they want people to come back over onto Instagram and put all that same energy there. So a lot of people, what I've seen, a lot of people are taking their TikToks and just uploading them right to Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And just getting that same coverage. Yeah. They're getting that double coverage, which is nice.
You can do that, yeah.
So
a little double dipping. Well, no, thanks for being on, Carly.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Good. It's been a great conversation. And how do you feel? How do you feel now that we're wrapping up?
I feel good. I don't know if it was the vibe of the talk, the oils.
Yeah, it's everything.
No, this was really good. I'm glad to have contributed and
thanks
been
for being
able
on.
to come on. So,
anything you want to plug or share with the listeners of the podcast?
I mean, I feel like this. What do you want to say? But no, I mean, this was great. This was my first time doing this. I've never really. He's gonna step in front of the camera again.
That's all right.
Will you cut this out?
Yeah, Putsy.
He's like standing right there. Okay.
I made it worse.
What do you want me to say, like, as final thoughts?
Just whatever you got to share.
like what?
I like website, Instagram, profiles.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so this has been great. I do have more information if you guys are interested. I do have a website. It is thatoilychickcarly.com. And that's a lot of information as far as like oils go, chemicals go, quality, things like that. And then I have my main Instagram page, and then I also have my business page. So I would love for you guys to follow and connect with me on there. And I would love to support you guys too as well. And thank you for listening. Like, thank you for having me on, TJ.
No problem.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
He's over there petting the cat.
Yeah, I got the cat.
He's becoming a cat person.
Yeah,
quickly.
Thanks for everything. And for you guys, go to the website, brand new website, tjmartino.com. Go there. Check me out. I am up. Everything's on there, the whole podcast library, everything that I'm doing, all my links, everything's there. But check me out on all of the listening platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all that stuff. Check me out there. Also, check me out on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and Minds. I'm on all those alt platforms as well. Check me out. Follow me, Facebook, Twitter, Gab, all that. And, that's all I got. TJMartino.com. More to come. Thanks for everything, Carly. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And let the beat drop.